What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel, Pipe Nick Loud here. And tonight we're gonna talk about the first impressions. Now whenever somebody comes to your stream, the first impression that they're going to have is actually going to be about the visuals and the quality of your stream. Now the quality of your stream may depend on multiple things. A couple of them is your visuals, your tabs, but most importantly the quality of your video and the latency of your stream. So we're gonna talk about how you can fix your laggy stream in a simple couple of steps. Now at this point I hope all of you are actually here Windows users and are trying to stream your video games from Windows because, well, you know, Apple is not really a gaming machine at all. Now I'm not saying Windows is a perfect machine. Windows is from really far from being perfect. Windows actually has a lot more flaws than Mac does. Windows can crash 100 times more than Mac. But nevertheless, Windows is a more superior machine than Mac for gaming purposes. If you're still using any software for streaming such as Streamlabs or Stream Elements or any other software that you might use for your personal streaming, it all comes down into two things. Now both of those two things that we're going to talk about right in a minute are causing the latency in your stream. Now what is latency? So in order for us to determine what causes the latency, we need to take a look at how typical live streaming system works. Now the way that it works is that we have our video capture device, which is our video card in our computer, which essentially sends out the video into an encoder, which is primarily is going to be either your processor or your GPU card that does the encoding for the stream, and then it uses the internet in order to send your stream into the VDS cloud, and then from that cloud essentially is going to be distributed by another source of internet into the user's devices where they're enjoying your happy stream. So whenever you use a single camera or some sort of sophisticated video system, which is OBS or Streamlabs are, primarily because you are essentially taking the video from your game as well as the camera and as well as the overlay and alerts and multiple other sources and combining them together, it becomes a really complicated process. And as a result, it takes some time to encode that video. It's exactly where we might encounter the issue number one, which is encoding and rendering. When you're encoding in a software such as a PC or Mac, essentially you take your hardware of your computer and you use that raw power to compress all the video files and all the images and layers that you have in your either OBS or Streamlabs. And therefore, whenever that compression happens, it takes time and power from your graphics card to convert all of that compressed data into one single file. This latency can range from extremely low to actually to the whole duration of your video. Now changing encoding parameters will actually help you to develop a lower latency, which is essentially the lag in your video, and the way that you might achieve that is in a couple of things. Now first and foremost, we have to remind ourselves that whenever you're encoding and rendering the file, your GPU is being used. Not only your GPU runs the video game that you have, for example Fortnite, Blackout or Rainbow Six, such as when I stream on Monday, Wednesday and Thursday I play Rainbow Six, so my video graphics card primarily is used for two reasons, which is essentially rendering the video frame, the stream that I have, as well as encoding the game. As a result, you can see that you have your one GPU card and it does both of the jobs at the same time. So what you can do to limit the latency before it actually hits the internet and see if the latency is caused by your GPU card and your processing power of your GPU in order to render the images, what you can do is test it without going live. Now whenever you use a streaming software, you'll obviously have some sort of indicator frames per second of your actual stream. Now what you can test out how your GPU handles your stream before actually going live is to turn on your OBS, put on your game, put on your overlay, as well as the preview screen in your streaming platform. So the next step is actually going to be really simple. You just have to play the game for some time and see how your OBS and how your graphics card handles that heavy load of the game as well as the rendering in your game. If you'll see your FPS dropping below the normal of what you set out to be, that means your GPU is working really hard and it cannot keep up with the game's graphics that you have settings on, as well as the settings that you have in your OBS. That means your graphics card cannot keep up with two tasks, which is actually having the high settings on your game and the settings that you put out for the resolution and FPS output in your streaming platform. So therefore, as a result, you have to only change two things. You have to play around with the graphics in your actual game, if it's really graphically demanding game, as well as you have to play with the settings in your streaming platform to make sure that you're no longer having that FPS drop before you actually send out your stream into the internet cloud. Now that we've taken care of this part of the puzzle, we're gonna move into the part number 2, which is your internet. Now, internet also has two jobs whenever you stream. Now, internet is as important as your GPU because internet also has two supporting roles to do while you're streaming. The two supporting roles are essentially giving you enough internet and ping, as we all gamers refer to, and high enough speed in order for you to actually play the video game, providing you with enough internet so that you can actually play online with your friends, considering that it's an online game. Now the second job is going to be taking your encoded, completed file of the stream and sending it out to the cloud so that everybody can enjoy your stream. Now in both of the situations, the speed, download and upload speed matter, but the most importantly for your streaming purposes, the upload speed is the only thing that we're going to focus on at this very moment. This is the part where you take your stream online after testing it offline and see if your FPS actually drops. In any streaming platform, you'll be able to see your bitrate that you set out to be in your setting. If that bitrate ranges between the amount that you actually put in the settings and you are in the green, that means you're streaming well and your stream is being sent out and transmitted to the millions of users that are out there and trying to find your stream. And if you're wondering how to do that, I actually made a recent video right here that you can come and join on my channel on how you can actually use your social media to drive traffic into your stream for thousands of people. Now also another important point about the usage of your CPU. I always try to make sure that my CPU usage is below 30%. It's really important because your CPU is also running multiple tasks, not only your streaming service, but also your game and multiple other applications that you have offline. Now if your bitrate ranging between yellow and red, essentially what it means is that your internet upload speed cannot keep up with the size of the file that it's trying to send. And it can mean two things. Reason number one is because your internet is actually not fast enough to send out the size of the video and for the quality of the stream that you want to have on Twitch. Which brings us to the reason number two, which is essentially your file size is too big. So for example, if you're using a 1080p quality stream with a 60 frames per second, that's a much bigger size. To be exact, it's actually 3.3 times bigger as 720p quality stream with exactly the same frame rate. Now majority of your users are actually not going to see the difference because they're actually using their mobile devices in order to watch your stream. Yes, it's 21st century, everybody's using mobile devices, get over it. And as a result, once you're done with all the testing and you've completed all the necessary steps and check marks on each and every step, and you've passed through all of them with having your stream at 60 FPS, you have the same bitrate with the range that you've set out to be in your settings and it stays in the green and your stream looks great on your computer, it's time to actually pull out your mobile phone or maybe a laptop or your mom's computer and turn it in your stream and see how it behaves in a live setting. Now two things might happen in this situation as well. First is your stream is actually going to look great and everything is going to look exactly the same as you have it on your OBS. The situation number two might happen where you're seeing your stream a bit laggy from your other device whenever you're actually receiving the file. Now that is because then your download speed of your internet is not fast enough to actually download that raw file, and it's actually not your fault, it's the fault of the person who actually receiving that file. So as a result, if you see your stream choppy on somebody else's computer, but on your OBS instance it's absolutely fine, that means your stream is set out to be to the perfect setting that as is and being transmitted to the best settings and the best quality that it can to everybody else. Now you simply cannot give everybody 1 GB internet. So as a result, once you have all the check marks, you're pretty much ready to go. So leave a like down here and below if you like this video and actually it helped you to improve your stream. And let me know in the comments below what you are actually guys streaming. I'm really curious what everybody streams nowadays. And I wish you all the best with it. And now, crisp high fives to everyone.